I Hope This Finds You by Ann Liang. Sadie. I keep waiting for a Pegasus to appear, but when our Uber pulls into the driveway, there are no statues of mythical creatures in sight. There isn't even a lobby, just a 3-story building with robin blue walls and wisteria draped over the iron gate, blending in perfectly with the other houses lining the street. Are we in the right place? I ask Julius. Where's our hotel? There's no hotel, he says, sliding out of the back seat. He rounds the car from behind, then opens the door for me. This is where we'll be staying. I booked us an Airbnb. What? I hop outside into the sun, following him as he unloads our luggage from the trunk. Well, it's mostly my luggage. He somehow managed to condense 2 weeks of clothing into a single suitcase. Meanwhile, I've packed everything from my most trusted, dermatologist-approved brand of shampoo and sunscreen to my emergency supply of fuzzy socks. But what about that fancy hotel you wanted? I decided against it. He says with a shrug, I know it's expensive, and you'd get all weird and guilty if I offered to pay for it in your behalf. Plus, the hotel was in a famously noisy area, and you're a super light sleeper. I stare at him. Somehow, even though he's already proven over and over that he can be shockingly sweet and considerate and always thinks of me, he still manages to surprise me. Are you sure? I ask. Very. He says, Don't worry. I get to stay in fancy hotels all the time. I'm not exactly missing out. This I do believe. The gate rattles open, and we both turn to find a slender woman in her 50s waving enthusiastically over at us. Her hair fans out in wild dark blonde curls around her heart-shaped face, the woolen scarf around her neck fluttering in the breeze. Welcome, welcome, she calls out to us. Her voice sounds tailor-made for her slight build and fashion sense, high and sweet and kind of airy. Do you need help with the luggage? Your room is up on the 2nd floor, and I'm afraid it's a bit steep. No, we've got it. Julius calls back, picking up both my massive suitcases and carrying them up the stairs with ease, like they weigh nothing. This is unfortunately devastatingly attractive to me, and I have to give myself a mental shake to stop from gawking as I climb up to join him at the entrance. Her name is Margaret. Julius murmurs to me. Says in her bio that she's an artist. What kind of artist? I murmur back. This is what we try to figure out as she shows us inside. The house does look like it was decorated by someone with a trained artistic eye. Everything has been carefully selected in matching shades of mahogany and olive and burgundy, stylish in a muted, timeless way. The fireplace has been set with stone owl sculptures and sand-speckled vases. Fresh jasmines left inside an empty Firefly Ridge wine bottle. Over the dining table hangs a poster titled 5 Surrealists from the Menil Collections in the National Gallery of Art, according to the description below. Now, let me just demonstrate how this particular light switch works, because it can be tricky when you're new to it. I suppose since it's quite a special one, Margaret says, pointing to the very regular light switch, which works in the very regular fashion. She has a way of speaking, like she's constantly on the verge of saying something else, only to change her mind again. And you'll want to know how the shower works too. I imagine if you just... Yes, follow me. The bathroom's just over here. And also, alright, this is the bathroom, as you can see. Julius and I exchanged amused glances and wandered through the house with her, from the living room on one end to the reading room on the other. Oh, this is my favorite place in the house, Margaret tells us, and I immediately understand why. There's barely any furniture, just a bookshelf and a coffee table in the center, and there are more windows than walls. A balcony looks out at the gardens below, where wildflowers spring from the soft soil, and 2 lemon trees stand guard over another owl sculpture. Maybe that's what Margaret is the artist of. Through the shades, the sun is setting over the hills, the light turning everything into gold. It looks exactly like my dream home, the happy place I'd imagined for myself when I was exhausted and so burnt out I couldn't breathe. Did Julius know? Is that why he chose this flat? Do you like it here? Julius asks, coming around to lace his fingers through mine. The touch of his hand, the warmth of the sun, the open room, silver dust motes floating, our home for the next couple of weeks. Just us. I nod. But what I mean is, I hadn't imagined that life could be like this. It's okay though, because when he squeezes my hand 3 times and leads me down a corridor, I know he knows. You have my phone number, yes? Margaret is saying, please do text me if you need anything at all. Or better yet, you can simply walk up and knock on my door. I live just upstairs. She's nothing like my mother, yet she feels motherly, familiar. Once she's wrapped up the first half of the house tour, she offers us detailed instructions on how to use the kettle and the dryer and the Wi-Fi, and then points to a picnic basket on the counter. There are some chocolate chip cookies inside if you're hungry after your flight and looking for a treat, or you know, well, I don't know what you like, but my nieces really enjoy them, she says. Of course, there are some lovely cafes in the area too. There's this, what was the name now? I had written it in the handbook. I'll find it later. But yes, there's this popular bakery down the street with the best croissants, comparable to the ones in France, they say. Amazing, thank you. We'll have to check it out, I tell her. The cookies smell amazing. Julius adds. She beams at him. And I hear you both came all the way from Australia? She asks. Is that right? We did. Julius says. Basically just around the block. The spiders, she says at once, which is anecdotally one of the first things people associate with the country. Yes, the spiders. Julius says. Are they do they? Am I correct to think that they're large, aren't they? Margaret wants to know, with what seems to be real concern. They do come in various sizes, Julia says reasonably. But I heard, at least some people have told me that the spiders are poisonous. Margaret presses. Sometimes. Julius offers her one of his crowd-pleasing smiles. You shouldn't worry about them too much though. Just have to know where to go and who to stick to. I've always wanted to visit, Margaret says, looking thoughtful. It's just the spiders I'm scared of. Well, do tell us if you ever decide to come down. Julius tells her. We can give you recommendations for spider-free spots. It used to annoy me, but I secretly love when he's like this. His charm switched on, his manners impeccable, endlessly patient, almost glowing, the kind of boy who elderly strangers dote on, who you'd trust to command a room full of people, the kind of boy you feel proud to bring to a large family gathering, no matter how many gossip aunties are there. That's very kind, Margaret gushes, and I wouldn't be surprised if she reached out and pinched his cheeks. She twirls around in the grey-tiled kitchen and ushers us back toward the closets by the bathroom. Now, one last thing before I forget. Here, all your essential supplies. She yanks the closet door open, and Julius and I fall into stunned silence. The entire closet has been crammed with towels of every possible size. There are more here in case you need them, Margaret adds, opening the closet beside it, only to reveal an equally impressive stash of towels that would put most hotels to shame. Julius glances at me sideways, as if to confirm whether he's justified in his astonishment at the amount of towels. Right, I'll get out of your hair now and leave you two to settle in. Maybe get some rest, recover from the jet lag, or do a bit of sightseeing if that's whatever you feel like doing. Totally up to you. And you do have my number, yes? No, we spoke about that already. Okay. Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Do enjoy your stay, Margaret says. We both thank her profusely for the cookies and the towels and the instructions. When she closes the door behind her, I heave a small happy sigh and turn to Julius. Taking in everything, him and the flat, and the very fact that we're in a completely new country now. It's like we're two kids playing house, but it's also the most grown-up I've ever felt, the most free. So, what do you think of the trip so far? Julius asks, taking my hand and spinning me around in the living room, as if it's a dance floor. I think it's almost perfect, I tell him. He draws me back to his chest. Almost perfect. What's missing? Oh, I don't know, I say, grinning, and gesture to the two full closets behind us. I'm just worried there aren't enough towels. He laughs, and there are no almosts. Everything is entirely, wonderfully perfect.